Hey! Yeah, we're just hanging out here having a good time. My name's Greg Dixon,
I'm Amy Dixon,
and we are
co-founders of Life
Life
Origami.
Origami.
So he's my best friend, my husband, my co-conspirator.
And I have to talk now? You get me right here, honey. I appreciate that. So we're here talking about the 12 days of living a serene life. What's with the 12 days?
Well, the 12 days, they're a set of videos that we're going to put out, and they correspond with the 12 days of Yule, which began today, the 20th, and the winter solstice is tomorrow, the 21st, which is Friday, and then it goes through from the 20th on to New Year's. And so
we have a special surprise for New Year's Day.
Yes, so we thought we would,
if you're around,
we would produce 4 videos and put one out each day, and of the last 12 days of 2018.
Well, we're actually going to produce a total of 12 videos, but we're going to cover a bunch of different topics because we're going to introduce our program about living a serene life, and we're going to give you a taste of what we're going to be teaching. In that, it's kind of a training enhanced coaching program. It's individualized for each person. It's delivered. The training's the same, but we supplement it with coaching. But I'm getting ahead of ourselves, aren't I?
It's all good.
Okay. So we've already kind of started this because the other day we said just say no to New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
So 2019 is almost upon us, and oftentimes people think about New Year's and New Year's resolution. I want to lose weight. I want to make a ton of money. I want to get married or whatever.
Quit smoking. Yeah.
And we said we had a whole video on it about just say no to New Year's resolutions. And we did another conversation about appreciating differences, self-expression, gender roles, and the LGBTQ.
Yes.
So so in that we had a long conversation. We were sitting on the couch one morning.
Yes, we were talking about differences and diversity amongst people, and we spoke about how there's so many differences and people are not so tolerant of differences, and we talked about some of the examples of the LGBTQ population,
the community and the population, and the choices that they make in trying to express themselves.
Yes, and how they're perceived, and we talked about society's attachments to the way things should be, what's right and what's wrong, and how if in this world, if everybody was a walking carbon copy of some android, then the world would be so boring. So it was about embracing diversity.
Yeah, because appreciating differences, embracing differences. And the fact that we don't all have to be the same. And
not judging it either.
Right, and some people choose to live differently than how they were, quote unquote, born or told who they should be. But all of us carry a burden of expectations that other people, our parents, our friends, our family, society, your boss, goes on and on, right?
Yeah.
So, that video's out. You can watch it. It's up there. It was an audio conversation we had on our red couch, talking about, because we started looking at it. I thought this is a great object lesson for us to teach about appreciating differences and embracing self-expression, and that's where we started with that.
Yes.
Now, what we're doing today, this video, is about the 12 days of 2018, living a serene life.
Yes.
And how we're going to be introducing our program.
Yes.
And so the next video you're going to see after tomorrow, we're going to put out.
Oh,
no, not tomorrow. On Friday. the
Yes.
21st. We're
That
gonna,
would be our skill kit deficit we wanted
Right.
to speak to.
Mhm.
And Life Origami, we offer 7 key ingredients to complete what we call skill kit.
complete cake.
The complete cake. And what's missing from most training programs. And so we teach 3 assets of the
Right.
skill kit, and
Yeah.
there's 4 disciplines
Yeah.
of successful execution.
That's right.
And it's kind of interesting how that unfolded for us last
Yeah.
summer when we went on our trip to
In
Indianapolis.
May, yeah.
We went to the Indy 500.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah, tell us more about that, Greg, for you.
Yeah, well, for me, we were having this ongoing conversation about Life Origami and what we were going to do with it. And we're on this, I believe we got the insight somewhere between South Dakota and Montana.
I just remember it
As
was
I
really
remember.
flat.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably South Dakota.
Yeah.
But you know, it was interesting because we're driving along and I had this insight as I was kind of pondering, you know, how are we going to do this thing, Life Origami thing? I'd done over 400 workshops over in my career, you know, trained about 10,000 people. Not huge numbers, you know, but I learned a lot, but there was something missing. And as I was driving along, I had this epiphany and I realized that I was trying to teach people how to be me. And that was ridiculous. I was trying to share, I was honestly trying to share what I had learned, but in a way I was trying to impose how I thought and who I was on other people, and nobody can be me. There's only one Greg Dixon, there's only one Anthony Robbins, there's only one Amy Dixon, and there's only one you. And so I realized that the personal development industry, myself included, it kind of short-shrifted people because we don't give people a complete, all the ingredients they need to
Yes.
bake to become fully baked.
Cut! No.
Well, no, but you know,
Yeah.
because you can even have all the ingredients,
Yes.
and if you don't put together in the right order,
Yes, that's
or
right.
or use the right techniques,
Yeah.
the cake can turn out totally different.
Yeah. It could be burnt like my gingerbread cookies the other day.
Yeah, we tried to eat a few of them and then we tossed the rest. And then,
Yeah.
But the next ones were
Oh.
awesome
They were good.
because
Anyway,
we learned.
squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel. Yes, so you were talking about the differences between the programs that were out there
Right.
and what we felt there was a deficit in. And
you had your insight.
I did too.
Yeah.
The thing was, is while we were on the trip, we were talking about how I used to go to all these conventions, numerous conventions by all these
Workshop
gurus.
junkie.
Oh yes, and then there was, you know, the conventions where you had a number of gurus that come up,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
presidents of the United States and
It's drink
Lance
from
Armstrong.
a bunch of firehouses, right?
Yeah, it was like rah pep rallies, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing was, is, you know, they were so big on willpower, which lasts a little while until it runs out of
Till
energy,
it doesn't.
and motivational stuff, and you know, you got to go after what you want, but they're very general and they're not specific. They're not tailor-made. They don't tell you what you need to do, how you need to do it. They don't give you that stuff. And even if they did, it may be the wrong stuff because you are a unique individual and you need to learn how you learn. And it's all about you how, not they how.
Yeah,
So
very good point.
that's what
Yeah.
it was. And I
Yeah.
realized that they were just raw pep rallies that I wasn't actually getting into action.
Right.
I was staying in the confront, examine type of period in my life. And even when I met Greg, I asked you to come to one of them with me. And Greg was my business coach 12 years ago,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
opened a successful business.
Yeah.
Or I did.
You did.
And
I cheered you on.
you did. And I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, you're talking about opening the business.
Yes, and so I wanted him to come to this convention
Right.
within, I think it was the Power Within.
Yeah. And what
And
did I say?
who is going to be there? Dr. Phil was going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And I asked you, and you said, "Well, I don't really go to
I don't
those
do
things
that
anymore.
anymore."
I don't do those anymore." I said, "Well, I already bought you a ticket, and I spent this much money, and we're going to get to have breakfast with Dr. Phil, and we're going to sit in the front row, and And
That was
Dr.
funny.
Phil didn't show up for breakfast, and he laughed at us for paying
And he
$200
made a teaching
more than
point out of
everybody
it.
else sitting behind us in the row
Yeah.
behind us. But yes, and so I got what I usually get out of Dr. Phil. I get a lot of inspiration, and you can do it. And then, Greg, we went for lunch, and you said, "Okay, now what are you going to do with all this information? What have you been doing with all this information right now? How far have you got?" And I'm like, "Well, that's why I hired you. I've gotten nowhere."
Which is a great point, because
I didn't know
for
what to
all
do.
the information they gave you and all the people that spoke, Pope Ronson was there, remember that?
Yes,
Remember him?
I've seen him a number of times
Yeah.
in a couple of other conventions.
And it's all good stuff.
Yes, it's
But
awesome.
What we realized on that trip is that we realized the missing components.
Oh,
I realized the missing components, and it ended up being a business that I transitioned into. But what we've discovered since that time, we've been working on it for 6 or 7 months, is there's three assets you need to have a proper skill kit ingredients, and you need 4 disciplines. 4 disciplines. It's like how you combine the assets to make them work for you, so you have successful execution. Anyways, we'll be talking more about that when we do the actual
Yes.
the actual video.
Yeah.
Now the 5th video is going to be what we call the new laws of life navigation, an introduction and overview
Yes.
into what we call the new laws. Now it's not like, okay, we passed a new law. We got some legislation passed. Don't you know?
No.
But it's new perspective on laws of life navigation that affect every single human being on the planet. The more aware we are of the laws and how they work, the better we can take advantage of them and use them for our benefit.
Yes. Ditto.
Right on. So video number 6, we're going to be talking about, we touched on it in video number 2, and appreciating differences in self-expression. And we used the things we were learning about the LGBTQ community and gender roles as a learning thing. But in the law of self-expression, we're going to be doing a deep dive into how the law of self-expression affects us, and how every single one of us have an absolute thirst and hunger to express ourselves from the moment we're born until our very last breath. We're seeking to express ourselves, and that there's this law. There are actually some things that fuel that law, that make that law work. And if you understand what those powers are, you can use those. So that's coming. Video number 7 is going to be about the law of self-care. And the law of self-care is you can be a workaholic. You can work your ass off. You can work. And eventually, if you don't practice self-care, you're going to collapse. I've experienced that myself a few times in my life with pneumonia. It put me down. I didn't realize that I would just try to work through it, getting a cold, then you get bronchitis, then you get pneumonia.
And when I opened my store, I was a new entrepreneur, and my equilibrium was totally off. So I didn't spend time to go to the gym. I didn't eat properly. I was just go all the time. Super mom, take care of the house, take care of the kids, go to work, and do everything you need to do. And I didn't take care of myself. And the parties were long that I had with the children. I had an entertainment facility, and I just got burnt out.
Yep.
And then it was hard to go to work. It was hard to put a smile on my face. I was just, I opened up a Twitter account called Grumpy Fairy.
Yeah. Still have it.
I still do, but I'm not as grumpy anymore. But
Yay. When I grow up, I'm going to marry Grumpy Fairy.
I know. Anyway.
So the 8th video is about the law of mastery. I've had the extreme pleasure of a few times in my life being able to spend time with people I consider that were true masters. And what I discovered is that they do things differently. They see the world differently.
I've met a few masters, and the thing is they, when you are around them, they give you a taste for how to be curious and how to pursue your passions, and they're remarkable in their they're just very different people. They're students of their own life.
Exactly. They're students that give them a little hint of where we're going. But the interesting thing is with the law of mastery is that you may not think of yourself as a master, and you might not think of yourself as wanting to become a master, but we all, to a certain degree, in certain areas of our life, must achieve a level of mastery to be able to get what we want and to experience what we want in life. And so what we're going to reveal is what we believe are the two ingredients, the two powers of mastery.
Yes.
Number 9 is the law of progress. This was a really interesting conversation that I had with Amy 12 years ago.
Yes, and we talked about two key components, about being able to achieve what it is you want to get, what your results are, but you have to have the correct skills in order to do that, and you need the proper plan, and that way you can control.
Right.
You can control your progress. You can control the whole concept and the whole development of getting what it is you want to get. So when you have the skills and you have the plan, and you have the control, there's so much clarity. And then, that gets you into movement. And
it's all about progress. It's all about it's the law of
always,
progress, which is the law of, in a way, we were talking about, should we call it the law of movement?
Yes.
That's the law of progress.
It is, yes.
And sometimes you can still be making progress even though you haven't seen the movement yet, which I think is an important distinction. That's where we oftentimes lose the faith and quit on ourselves. And in that space where we're doing all this work, we feel like we're making progress, but we haven't seen evidence via movement, and it might just be just around the corner. So we're going to show you and teach you the things that you can do, the key ingredients, the two powers of engagement that affect progress and movement.
Exactly.
It's going to be exciting to share.
Yes, I like that. I like that topic.
Number 10, we're going to be talking about the 8 powers of engagement. We're going to go through, give you a complete overview of the 8 powers of engagement. And the reason we chose, he said that these are powers of engagement, is that my ability to engage with myself, to be present with myself, to be clear about what I want, and to be making choices that support what I want. And my ability to work with other people and engage other people affects the quality of my life. And so we're going to be talking about that.
Yes, and there's 2 components that I can think of right now, what I'm not going to share, is that make our engagement more significant and to us. And so that's what we're going to discuss.
Exactly. Video number 11, we're going to share the first 4 powers of engagement. We're giving you a little taste of it now.
Yes.
Meaning, significance, well-being, and security.
Yes.
And then number 12 is going to cover numbers 5 to 8, powers of engagement, which are willingness, execution, control, and achievement. Just like you had shared a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the 12th video. There's going to be a bonus. It's going to be a New Year's Day. And we're going to give you a taste and provide an opportunity for you to learn more and ask us tons of questions about living a serene life.
Yes.
In this day and age. And we called this program a number of different things.
Yes, it represented so many. What we were trying to teach and share represented so many concepts and ideas, and we had to think of something that was all expressive, something all encompassing. And we figured out that what we were getting to finally was we were discussing how we all need a sense of serenity in our life, and serenity
Because there's so much chaos.
It means so much. If you
Right.
have that, there's so much more that comes from that, you know.
Right. It becomes this foundation that you can walk upon, live upon, rest upon,
Yes.
and move through life from coming at it from a serene perspective.
Yes.
And to a certain degree, it might sound like a high bar. If you're going through right now turmoil, frustration, anxiety, maybe you're experiencing a divorce, maybe your business is closed, maybe you're in financial crisis.
Your children are sick and in the hospital.
Right.
You have illness of some sort, or
maybe you've just purchased a business.
maybe the business is it's you want it to grow more, or
Right.
you're in the beginning, or things aren't going so well, or you've had to close it, you've gone through bankruptcy. There's many things that come at
Yeah,
us.
there's all kinds of things
all kinds
in
of
chaos.
loss.
Yeah. There's loss, grief.
Yeah.
Maybe you buried a loved one. Maybe you're going. And divorce is a big loss of a dream of who we thought we were.
Yeah,
who we thought we
abuse.
were as a couple.
Abuse, maybe being
Yeah.
in women's shelters, that
Yeah.
type of
So if
thing.
you're going through abuse, and if you're going through those struggles, know we've walked that walk. We've been there. We've worked. We've come out the other side of it. And the reason we're sharing this is because we want to share this with as many people as possible.
Yeah, I've been in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
And there's things that we found were very valuable, what really worked for us. And working with other people in crisis, myself, that's my background.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to go along with them on the journey and support them. And I see it seems like the same components that finally got them through. And
Right.
that got us thinking about things.
Yep. And I found the
Yeah.
similarity with the clients, hundreds of clients I've worked with, and did a bit of an inventory of the people who got what they wanted and the people that didn't. We had a lot of we found a lot of commonality there, and
Yeah.
it's no accident. And so this is a common human experience we're all having, and what we hope to share with helping you as you're watching this video, it is possible to live a serene life. We just have some things we need to learn.
I'd like to emphasize, though, that this is not a New Year's resolution thing.
No.
I believe that your only point of power is in the now. So you can decide tomorrow to change. You can decide right now if there's something that you need to change to make your experience better. You don't have to wait till January 1st.
Because we're going to be producing videos every day.
Yes, and this isn't about just 2019. I mean, we're talking about sustainable, practical...
sustained change.
Yes,
Real change.
long-lasting.
We believe transformation. It's been transformational for us, and
Yes.
for of our clients, where we've tested some of these strategies with. It's been transformational for them in shifting their perspective, and when their perspective shift, the actions they were able to take also shifted.
Yes.
So that's a whole lot of information.
Yes.
There's a lot more information coming. Just give yourself permission to absorb it, to take it in. And if at any point you have any questions, please reach out to us on social media or lifeorigami.com, because you don't have to go through this walk alone. We're here at Life Origami to support you, to help you achieve what we call to fully inhabit your life. There's only one you. You're the only one person on the planet who knows what it is to be you. You're the only person who's heard every word spoken to you, who's been witness to every single thought you've had, that's been a witness to every experience you've had, every trauma you've experienced, every grief you've experienced, every joy you've experienced, and you have a context for your life that nobody else on the planet has.
So you understand yourself more, right? And you know how you work, you know how you learn,
right.
And it's all about you how.
And we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to give you a skill kit.
Yes.
Our dream and our goal is to help transfer and teach you the three assets and the four disciplines of successful execution, so you can take that skill kit and use it for your particular life context. Yours is going to be different than mine. It's going to be different than Amy's.
Yes.
But we all need these three assets, and there's four disciplines that we can use for successful execution. But
yes, so I'm very excited about these next videos, and I want to share as much as I can to help you along your way. Like I've had many mentors help me along the way.
Right.
Hero cookie.
Thanks, sweetie. And this stuff that Amy and I are working on, I've played around with it for decades, these ideas, and it's only together that our collaboration has brought it forward. Because you completed on stuff. You had part of the puzzle that I didn't have. I couldn't put to words. And there's a part of our program, it's not in this particular program, but in our full 1-year program, that I could facilitate and coach people through, but I couldn't teach people how to do it. But we figured that out together.
We took, like, we
forward.
amalgamated business and
Yeah.
life together.
Yeah.
Greg's experience with all the people who had a life that were had a business as
And
well,
a business too.
and me helping people through crises,
Right.
you know, of all types, and getting through it with them together, and other enjoyable things like helping to deliver 2 babies. That
Yeah,
was exciting.
exactly.
So yes, that's all of it in a nutshell. A very long nutshell, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're glad that you're listening. We're glad that you've spent some time with us. We truly value it. If you could help us get the word out, share this on social media, we'd be so grateful.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we
awesome.
really truly want to share this with as many people as possible. And we appreciate your time and attention. There's more to follow in the coming days. Make the most of this period of time in your life. If you're watching this video, there's a reason you're watching this video. Know that we're here for you. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Namaste. Peace out.